Hey guys, per usual, everything on this channel is for educational purposes only and is not intended as financial advice. So it's been a few days, I've been sick, lost my voice for a minute, but we're back, we're here with you now, we out here, so let's go. We're going to go top 6 today. We're going to go all the way down, we're going to go 6 deep, we're going to go to Ethereum Classic. Let's get started with Mac Daddy Bitcoin. What do we got here? So I'm long on Bitcoin right now, based on the 30-minute. I'm not going to look at it because this is broken. We're just going to stick to the 4-hour. This is the 4-hour follow-through. You know the rules. So just let's run through some stuff here. I don't see anything concerning other than double top immediately. It's pretty concerning actually. But other than that, everything looks okay. I'm still waiting on the volume, which has not arrived. Part of that could be my misunderstanding of how halving and deflationary assets work in the future going forward. Whether or not we can just expect less and less volume in general based upon deflationary properties of this asset. I don't know, but I'd expect some volume to come in. I mean, sideways up is great. It's kind of like how we were pre-Parabolia when the China stuff happened, like December 2016. Where it was just kind of like rising wedge, and I was like, this is going to fall, this is going to fall, and then we just went up like $500. I don't know if we're quite there yet. We're sitting at all-time highs, which is kind of insane that we're just chilling. You know, that alone by itself is bullish because it says there's no strong rejection of this level. There's not necessarily giant support here, but when you're looking for reversals, you're looking for giant wicks, you're looking for quote-unquote blow-off tops, blow-off panic bottom, whatever you want to call it, just long wicks that say buyers are exhausted, sellers are exhausted, whatever. I don't see any of that here. The volume especially doesn't tell me that there's any exhaustion going on. The Ethereum USD volume is gross on Coinbase right now, so that tells me that new money's coming in more than anything, but we'll get to Ethereum. So candles wise, I don't really see anything other than double top potential here. There could be some sort of ugly harmonic, but I'm not even going to bother to draw it. If we go to Heikin-Ashi, you can see we had the sideways red, 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 then green, green, green. That's your long entry, and then you hold it, stop here, depending on how you want to play this. Again, this is not an exact science, so depending on how you want to play all this, you're in or out of the trade based on whatever Heikin-Ashi signals, okay? So again, you get 3 greens. These aren't all created equally. This one is kind of a spinning top, which is medium or middle of the road as far as buyers and sellers are concerned. So what you're looking for now is 3 greens in a row. If this closes red, you know, basically you're just looking for a local top, busting up of the local top. We busted up from this local top here, we went higher. Same concept. You're just looking out for the busting up of the local top. That's where I'll be adding more to my current long. At this point, I'm just expecting it to get stopped out at a lower low. I don't really see any pitchfork stuff. There's definitely pitchfork stuff here. So again, August Bitfinex low. We're going to use this low, this high, and this kind of gives us a target 1440, 50, something like that. That's okay. I'll take that. So that would be the next high up. If we go to fibs, this is where it's like, where do I draw the fib? This is obviously one of the points. Okay. Do I draw it here? Do I draw it here? Where do you want to draw it? Let's be non-conservative and draw it here. So that gives us a target of 1500. This would give us a target which makes more sense. Again, 1443. If we look at the pitchfork again, the pitchfork was almost exactly 1443 at one of the points. And that's the fib extension, the 1618. If you want to be super non-conservative and just draw it down here, we're looking at 1648, which is close to the outer limit of the outer limits. That was a weird show. Close to the outer limit of the pitchfork, definitely. B-bands look fine. You can see we bounced from the 20 MA. Here we were just walking up the bands. That's super bullish. That just says continuation, you know, just like this said continuation. Anytime you see that, right now we're just kind of consolidation mode on low volume still. There was a head and shoulders that I was looking at for a while, you know, shoulder, head, shoulder, and then some sort of line here. So it clearly broke up, but it did not break up on volume, which kind of worries me. Whether or not this is enough. Usually we see more volume than that. And if you're looking at a measured target for this, something like, this is just a rough measure here, but Here on logs, it's gonna look. This was in one of the Brave New Coin or the Bitcoin Magazine articles, I think. This is 1622. So again, that's the outer limit of the pitchfork. It makes sense. It fits the narrative, aka bullish confluence. So it all makes sense as far as targets are concerned. If we look at MacDaddy Cloud here with RSI, I don't see any divs. There were no divs on the way up here. Maybe a tiny div, but nothing that I would have said, sell everything, there's a div. There's no C-clamp, there's some, the TK lines are spread apart, but they're not this wide. So again, not an exact science, but it tells you on this time frame, things are moving slow enough that you shouldn't expect any nasty craziness. I think the last 4 hour I was talking about this possible edge to edge here, because this was saying we bought really quickly and didn't quite get time to fill in the support. Anytime you see the cloud really spread apart like that, that's what that says. Just like here, it says we sold off really quickly. So you can see there was a potential here, and it flirted with the cloud to sell back down. It didn't. It went back up. So this was the long entry signal in the 4 hour. There's no long entry signal right now on the 4 hour. Your bids are always safe at the Kijun, 1293 on index. Likely 1300 to 1315, just based on these wicks right here. That's all I'm really seeing with Bitcoin. So I'm long on margin, so that says I'm confident enough that this is going to go up. Pretty gross that I'm long at all-time high levels with a double top printing, but that's what the 30-minute cloud likes. A 4 hour cloud just says we're trending, no entry signals. Let's move to Ethereum. And like I talk about in the Bitcoin Magazine articles, I like to look at ETH BTC. It has the highest volume. It really should be the market that moves everything. And again, I've been looking at this head and shoulders for weeks at least. I talked about it a lot, wrote about it, and it just never broke down. And really, I don't watch Ethereum closely, but a few of these alts, like XRP as well, bounced on the 200 pretty beautifully here and just held the whole time. So again, when you trade these patterns, you want to wait until they break support. You don't want to short early. You don't want to wait till the pattern doesn't confirm. You want to wait until everything looks good. Now this might happen really quickly on one candle drop, but that confirms the pattern. This isn't me backpedaling on anything. I've always said that. The head and shoulders was definitely there. The volume was definitely there, and it just didn't break down. So that's why you trade the pattern after it breaks down and not as the pattern's forming. Whether or not this will break down at this point, I don't know. 4 hour Stoke is crossing soon on the bottom, so it says there's more room for up. RSI looks fine. You could expect some sort of bear div here, so a higher high with a lower high in RSI and then a pullback. I'm not long on Ethereum right now, but this looks like an okay buy point. Candles look okay. Volume looks fine. There's no wicks, no nasty no like shooting star candles or anything. The 5200 never crossed bearish, which is good. The cloud says everything is good to go for a long, but no entry. Again, just like Bitcoin. And I feel like a lot of this Ethereum crap is people on Coinbase buying the lower asset because they're like, I can buy 10 of these, or I can only buy one of these. It's not really a pitchfork you're looking at. B-bands pretty blown out again. We're just consolidating. So the move kind of happened and it's just waiting for more information. You could argue a flag situation on lower time frames here. It's above the yearly pivot. Next yearly pivot is 06. I was talking on a target of like 08 in my Bitcoin Magazine article, just based on the measured move of the flag here. So if this is actually a flag, the measured move of this flag is somewhere up here, and the way you measure that is you just measure the pole to the tip of the flag and you just drag it up, and that's how you get the 0.8 something, anywhere between, I just like 0.08 flat. And again, you can also measure it with fibs. You're looking at fib extensions, again, 0.085. If you're looking at fib extensions just here on this latest move, read all this here, you are looking at, let's just see, because the top, quote unquote, sort of happened. So you could expect reasonably that the next move would be up to the 0.06 level, should this break up. Again, it kind of looks like a flag. It also kind of looks like a double top. I don't really know what's going on with Ethereum. Heiken-Ashi, let's take a look. Like it should have broken down. That's the weird part. But what is what it is. So Heiken-Ashi is telling you it's chilling right now, based on the red color change here. But again, when you see 2, 3 red green candles, it's go time. Just hold it to 0.06, sell some of it, sell most of it, sell 98% of it, and just hold the runner to 0.085 if you think I'm crazy enough and you believe me. I'm certainly not crazy enough to hold it, but there are plenty of people who are. Let's go to Ripple now, which so my bias is Ripple is junk, which is a bad bias to have if you're in a long, because then you're like, I want to get rid of this like a hot potato as soon as it does anything. So you can see again, like Ethereum, it bounced in the 200 here on the 4 hour pretty convincingly, and then never broke down. The 5200 never happened. I was already long based on the cloud, so on the unsingled. I think I was long somewhere in here. Doesn't really matter anymore, but you can see, so I sold on this candle, which was basically the Kumo breakout, which is the dumbest thing I could have done. That's mistake number one. And that was the long entry signal that I sold on. I don't know what I was thinking. Again, I just hate Ripple and just wanted to be done with it. But there's even a Kumo breakout now on doubled. It hit the long targets here, the flat Kumos, the cloud. It almost hit the top of this. And again, all this is up here is 50% of this move here. It's pretty interesting. It hit that pretty quickly. You know, it fell pretty quickly and then was just sideways for, let's see here, less than a month, and then just returned to the 50% of that move. That's got to be bullish. Again, I don't know why. I don't understand the fundamentals of Ripple. I know banks are involved and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, maybe because, you know, it's number 3 on the list and people are like, I can buy 1 million of that and I can only buy half a Bitcoin. I don't know. Maybe I'm selling people short. Maybe people are smarter than I think they are and they actually know more than me about Ripple. And I'm just thinking like, oh, these people are dumb. They don't know anything. Like me back in 2013. All right, so Heiken actually looks great. Definitely not an exit signal for anything here. Cloud looks great. Cloud targets were hit. RSI and Stoke are high but fine. Again, I expect some sort of bear div here with a higher high and a lower high in RSI. If we go back to candles real quick, you can see there's no div here at all on the way up. So this could just keep going. I don't like this wick if I was long, but this could be rising wedge versus ascending triangle situation. Your targets for this would be, this 6K, we'll just say. And that makes sense. Again, you're looking at wicks resistance up here. So it looks good. I'm not going to get back into it, but because I made a mistake down here, it is what it is. It looks good for more up. I don't know why, but it looks fine on technicals anyway. If we go to Woke Rock, first thing I would see with candles is some sort of channel or wedge here. It's tough to really say. I'm going to go with wedge. Probably a low time frame pitchfork. That looks really good here. I'm not going to look at it because we're on the 4 hour follow through. 4 hour follow through. Stokes at the top, whatever. RSI looks fine. It looks like a div, some sort of div here, definitely. If this is the top or not, I don't know. You could always draw this like this. That looks more convincing for a wedge. That's volume. If volume is descending, might have a wedge situation here. Where's the 200 at? Okay. Looks good. This would be your target. First target for the wedge breakdown, and if we just go 50%, yeah, it's about the 200 as well, somewhere in here. So again, I'm just drawing the wedge from the tip of the wedge. I'm looking for the 50%. That's a good wedge target. And wedge plus bear div equals definite short entry signals. If this keeps going, you can expect the 1618. I don't see head and shoulders or anything like that here, so that's good for Woke Rock. We go to Heiken-Ashi. It's difficult to really judge all this because it's pretty rangy. So yes, stuff's green, it was red, it's flat, it's all over the place. They have SegWit now, maybe. I don't actually know. I think they do. Good for them. Props to them. Golf clap. Golf clap. I don't know. I'm not going to be trading this at all. So good luck. But I don't really see any long or short entry signals. Turning on the cloud here, it's rangy as whoa, so it's really tough to use the cloud. Close your long, open your long, close your long, open your long, still you're in your long. I just, just wait till it breaks local, then shoot for that 1.618 target. Let's see if there's like it just looks really wedgy to me. Not too bullish on woke rock, but it might surprise me. These woke rock people really want 30 plus. What's it at now? 15? Alright. We'll see. I don't really believe it, but technicals look okay for continuation, especially if it breaks this local. If you get a cross-recross on the 4-hour TK lines here, bullish above the cloud, that would be a definite re-entry signal, just like you did here. This is what I'm always looking for re-entry. Basically everything resets, okay? So this is the bearish TK cross. It goes in the cloud. It looks dead, it's done, it's over, and then you get a Kuma breakout, you get a TK recross above the cloud. Here, you get like a weird noisy stuff here, but the point is the signal's flipped after flipping bearish, and that's your long entry signal. And hopefully I've said this enough before and after the fact that you can believe me that I'm not just retrospectively picking this stuff out of a hat every time. So look for the cross-recross. It's got some support levels. It's 0.01 level, 0.00765, 0.0075, something like that. So overall it looks fine. So let's check out Dash. Immediately I'm seeing a flag situation here. It's a bullish continuation. I'm also noticing it didn't break down to this level again. Again, this is a strong rejection of this zone. This is very strong support here. Or a thin order book, probably both. I was also looking at this Adam Eve situation. It didn't quite hit the target yet. No inverted head and shoulders. Let's look at volume. Volume was definitely descending up until here. I don't think there's a pattern here. I don't really see anything. Again, kind of weird that these didn't break down. That's juicy. 5200 cross right now on the 4-hour with flag. Oof, that's a long entry signal right there, folks. That is a long entry signal. Tell the turtle people, I told them that is a long entry signal. 4-hour 5200 cross with a flag. What were my notes on this? Yeah, okay. Edge to edge break horizontal resistance, stoke cross above threshold. Okay. Well, most of this has already happened, but some of it's happening now. We go to the cloud, no surprise, Kuma breakout. So Kuma breakout plus 5200 cross, all that good stuff. Looks really good right now. Man, that looks good. Let's look at Ikenashi real quick. Red, but it's got an hour and a half left. Yeah, this just looks good for a long right here. It's flagging. Stop could be below 0.067. Targets would be, again, same stuff that I've done on all the other coins here. 0.09, 1618. How's that look with this? This looks fine. I don't expect it to get past this ugly double top right now, but it looks good for up for sure. What was the measured move of this Adam Eve here? This is the first time looking at Dash in a few days. That's why I'm kind of like surprised at all this right now. 1.272 would be the Adam Eve. So I'm measuring the Adam Eve here, and the measured move of any pattern is just usually the depth of the pattern. So you just project that upwards, and we're getting 1.272, 0.084. So again, maybe you go long here, stop here, you sell some at the 1.272 level, you sell the rest of it at the 1.618 level. The long entry for the cloud was definitely down here. Singled cloud, I bet it was even sooner. Let's just take a look here. Oh no. Alright. Yeah, looks good. Dash looks good. That's all I'm going to say about Dash. I'm going to go long after I finish this for sure. Let's look at Ethereum Classic. Number 6. Last on the list here. So I sold my entire position in Ethereum Classic based on the daily, which was a bear div tweezer top. I'm not going to look at the daily. This is the 4-hour follow through, but it looks okay for more up. You can see on the cloud, again, you're looking at trends with the cloud. So it's just bouncing off these EMAs consistently. RSI is showing a bear div. You're getting a higher high, a lower low in RSI. Bids here are safe. You're also getting a div in volume. A bear div, higher high in price, lower high in volume. 5200 looks fine, kind of weird. The thing with Ethereum Classic is the ceiling is just insane because this ETF business and this Larry Larry. Barry versus Vitalik, basically. Immutable versus immutable chains, hard forks, etc. Who knows how that's going to play out. Candles look fine for continuation other than the div. If we look at Heikin-Ashi here, Heikin-Ashi's telling you everything's fine. I don't see any sideways. It's just the div really concerning, just like it was on the daily. That's why I got out of it. It's just, it's pushing on less momentum. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 drives here. They're asymmetric, but you'd expect a pullback to the 50% about. That's kind of like the 3-drive mentality. If we go to candles, just to show you here. So this was a 1, 2, 3, 4 drives. It pulled back to the 618. Okay, kind of messy. Yeah, circling the zone on the daily. Again, the 1618 from here to here, and it's reaching for it. The 50% of this real quick, it's going to be messy. Let's just say the top is here. So pull back to here, or here makes sense as well. So Ethereum Classic looks fine. I don't really see any entry signals. As far as the cloud is concerned, it's got divs on it. I'm out based on the daily divs. Let's just look at the double real quick. Looks okay. You can see we're getting this TK disequilibrium is growing. It just says it's building a div essentially based on the cloud, like it did here. And you'd expect a pullback to the Kijun. That's all I have for today. Bitcoin, possible double top. I'm long. Ethereum, I'm out. It looks good for up. Ripple looks good for up for sure. Litecoin looks wedgy. Dash is looking amazing. I'm going to long it as soon as I finish this video, and Ethereum Classic's looking divvy and toppy. That's all I got for today. Like, dislike, comment, share, subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter, Telegram, and happy trading.